Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time since I've filmed. I was super busy over the holidays and most of January, so I'm finally back into my YouTuber era. So today I'm going to be doing an actual spooky video. I'm very excited to be doing this one, and it is my top 10 favorite spooky movies. I'm also going to be doing a top 10 favorite horror movies, but this is just in the vein of the spooky. So a lot of these are going to be children's movies, I'm going to be honest with you, because most of the spooky are children's movies, for one. And for two, the nostalgia just makes all like the old spooky movies the best. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, number one, if you've seen everything I have, Jack Skellington, everything you can imagine, is of course going to be The Nightmare Before Christmas. This movie is probably my first spooky movie that I remember actually watching, and I'm obsessed with it. The score is absolutely fantastic. Danny Elfman really just created the fantasy of the movie. I love musicals, so the animation is fantastic. The voice acting is fantastic. The music's amazing. I've actually been privileged enough to go and see Danny Elfman do the show live a few times, which has been incredible. I cry every time. And I feel like a lot of emo, goth, spooky kids grew up watching this movie, and it gave us like the feeling that it's okay to be weird and different and to kind of celebrate that. So I think that's like the biggest part of why this movie is so important to me. And it really just helped me find that part of myself and love that part of myself. So that's like a big part of why this movie is so important to me. I like know the whole thing by heart, and I have to say my favorite part of the whole movie, although I love the entire thing, every song, it's all just so amazing, is the opening scene. Like just the guy narrating a long time ago, longer now than it seems, and then into the whole first song is just a great introduction to all of the characters. It sets the tone for the movie. It sets the tone for Halloween, and I love that this is a multi-holiday movie. You can watch it during Christmas.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air.
You can watch it for Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead.
I watch it all year round, wear the merch all year round, so I'm just one of those people. But that definitely is my number one favorite spooky movie, is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, and just in case you haven't seen any of these movies, there probably will be spoilers. All of them are very old, so I don't think that should be an issue. But if you don't want spoilers on a certain movie, you can like kind of like fast forward through until I get to one that you've seen if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, so number two, this was a really hard one picking the number one and number two, because I love them both so much, is Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is like everything. If you can see my phone case, is Beetlejuice. I love the black and white stripes. I literally wanted my husband to wear that black and white striped suit for our wedding, but he was not into it. So we got the black and white stripes on my bouquet, so we got it in other places. And if you see back here, this is actually something that we made for our wedding. Lauren made it. I kind of just picked which movies I wanted, and most of the movies that I'm talking about are on here. So of course, we have Beetlejuice right there.
It's showtime.
And fun fact, I totally used to have a crush on Beetlejuice as a kid. I don't know if any other spooky girls had this, but I definitely did. I thought he was so like cute or whatever, and his character.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Beetlejuice is just such a fun movie. I really identified with Lydia. I just felt like she was very much the kind of person that I felt like in a lot of ways, like her really kind of dark, no one understands me kind of like teenager vibe. I was like, oh my God, that's me.
I myself am strange and unusual.
So I just really love the movie. It's fun. The characters are funny. The whole thing is just a great ride. Catherine O'Hara is absolutely iconic in this movie as well. Like the looks she serves, the interior decorating that she serves, the attitude she serves. I mean, we just all want to be Catherine O'Hara at all times.
I will go and stay, and I will take you with me!
But this was a movie where I felt like she really, really shined. And where was I going with this? Oh, my favorite scene. Yeah, of course, it has to be the dinner table scene. Where they're all dancing and singing out of their control, but it's really the Maitlands controlling them and trying to scare them out of the house. And then the shrimp comes up at the end and grabs their faces and pulls them and throws them back, and Lydia's just watching it all like, what the heck? That's definitely like such an iconic scene, and I so wonder when they were filming if they knew how iconic this scene was going to be. I feel like when you think of the movie, you think of that scene in particular. Just everything about it, the set design, once again, the music, the acting, it's just such a fun movie. Love it. One of my favorites. I watch it so much. And Lauren's gonna put in one of my favorite like little quips that the dad says. Wow. So next on my list, number 3. So from here on, they aren't necessarily in order of like my favorites. They're kind of just in the order that I thought of them in. But the first 2 definitely are like the first 2. So the rest are kind of just like the rest of my favorites in no specified order, just however I thought of them, is the Halloween Town series. So if you were a Disney kid like me growing up, you can remember them playing all of them, or when they first came out, just watching them for hours during like October. I'm gonna mainly talk about the first 2 because those are my absolute favorite. The third one was fun and cute, and I still watch that one. The fourth one, where they replaced the actress that plays Marnie, was a good movie, but I just really didn't like that they replaced her, or that she wasn't in it. I'm not sure what the situation there was, but they replaced her and all of us were like, that's supposed to be Marnie? Are you kidding me? But I love the movie, the music, the way that they decorate the town. It's just like such a fun, wholesome, spooky movie. And I feel like I never get like in the Halloween spirit until I've seen Halloween Town. The characters are super cute, and for kid actors, they're really good. I just loved anything with witches growing up as a kid. Me and my sister would like pretend to cast spells. It's fun to believe in magic, and it's fun to pretend that you're capable of things that you aren't. And from the first movie, I think my favorite is the scene where they get off the bus and they're looking around the town, and you see like all the Halloween Town residents dressed in their garb, and you can like, they do little shots of like the stores and the town and everything. Whoa! You just really get the vibe of the whole movie from that scene. And in the second one, I have to say, there's a really funny scene in Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, where they go back to Marnie's grandma's house to look for her spell book, and the gray spell has taken control of Halloween Town and her house. And Marnie's friend Luke, me and my sister always crack up about this, she says to him, "You could help out, you know," and he goes, "I'm kind of hungry. Is there anything to eat around here?"
You can help out, you know.
I'm kind of hungry. I wonder if there's anything to eat around here.
And that to me is just like the funniest scene. We always crack up laughing just because like that's such a teenage boy thing to be like in the middle of something important and they're worried about food. So that's probably my favorite from that movie. I also really like the Halloween party at the high school that they show. Okay, all Halloween parties in Disney movies just look like so much fun. So I one day would love to experience a Disney Channel Halloween party, like the way they make them look so fun. Everybody's like having the best times. And number 4 is Scary Godmother, Oh my goodness, I absolutely loved The Scary Godmother growing up as a kid. The animation's kind of like weird and kooky, and it's based off of these books, which I think I read as a kid. I don't quite remember, but I remember maybe looking at them at like Barnes and Nobles or something. But I love Scary Godmother, the first one and the second one. They're just so much fun and magical, and once again, the music is super fun. I love all of the characters and just like that like childlike nostalgia. I feel like if you were to watch it for the first time as an adult, you might not appreciate it as much, but because I grew up watching it, I absolutely love it. The first one, I have to say my favorite part is the dancing that they do at Scary Godmother's party. The music like kind of went off, and I was like, wow, for a kids movie, like they had no right going that hard with the music, but they did. It's just like the perfect spooky, fun vibe. The whole movie is just so great, and it's pretty funny. Like a lot of the humor is cute.
Oh, life passed in front of my eyes! How was it?
I just love it so much. The second one, I love that they have the werewolf. I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but he is like doing a watch party. He breaks the third wall and he's like showing what happened in this movie.
Gentle viewers, let's hear it for Scary Godmother!
I really did appreciate that aspect of it. I thought that was really fun. So I think that's, oh, Harry the werewolf, that's his name. Yeah, so that's Harry narrating the whole thing, and at the end is super funny.
Send all your spare candy to Harry the Werewolf, care of Ackerman Forest, the Fright Side.
He's just a cute character. And number 5, Coraline, of course. I absolutely love Coraline. I've wanted to be her for a few Halloweens in a row now. Maybe this year I'll actually get my costume on time and dress up as her. I remember seeing Coraline at a pretty young age, probably middle school or younger. I didn't see it when it first came out, but I do remember watching it, and it's like actually pretty creepy for a kid's movie.
Now, you're going to stay here forever.
I remember my sister was terrified of it. To this day, it creeps her out. She can't watch it, but I just love the entire vibe of the movie. I love the story, super creative. I like the imaginative playfulness of it. The music, once again, is fantastic. The animation is great. The voice acting, all of it's just so fun. It really just takes you into this whole nother world. And I feel like it's one of those movies that when you're watching it, like you're just like zoned in and you're like not thinking about anything else that's going on in your life. So that's one reason that I really like it. It's like kind of a comfort movie for me. My favorite scene in the movie is her whole first day with her other parents, the other mother and her other dad, and how he sings the song with the piano that plays him as he says, and it's just like that fun, whimsical like feeling before it gets real dark and sinister. But I do really enjoy just the kind of twist of how there's this whole other like side, the yin and the yang to it. So yeah, that's my favorite. Coraline's just such a great movie. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It's fantastic.
We give our thanks and ask to bless.
That is the number 5. And if you see me looking at my phone and my phone screen on, I just have my little notes of what I'm talking about. And number 6, we have Corpse Bride. Such a great movie. Anything Tim Burton does is absolutely fantastic. And I believe Danny Elfman also did the music for Corpse Bride. If he didn't, it's very much his style, but I'm almost positive that he did.
I'm trying to musically tell a story whenever I score a film.
The music is great. Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter are fantastic as the voice actors in the movie. And I love both Emily and Victoria are just absolute queens. I actually dressed up as Corpse Bride one year, and it was very hard getting that blue. but it was super fun. Actually, I think I did that during COVID because we couldn't really go anywhere or do anything. And I was like, I'm still gonna dress up no matter what. So Corpse Bride is just super fun. And I love an animated musical. It's very much in that like Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibe. And I love the little like the difference that they do in making the living people very gray and boring, and then all the dead people are super colorful and fun and out there. So I think that was like a really cool take and spin on things. Definitely my favorite scene from Corpse Bride is the wedding of when Victor decides that he's gonna marry Emily to help her out, and he's gonna essentially not be alive anymore so he can be with her, which is super sweet. And then Victoria comes in, and you know, the whole drama with the other side getting rid of that guy. New arrival. And it's just like, you know, the whole scene, the whole wedding scene is just super fun. Even them getting ready to get to the wedding scene is fun. The songs and then Emily at the end when she becomes all like the butterflies, and it's just like so sweet. It's just a really like sad story, but it's a beautiful story at the same time. So I love that Tim Burton is able to make the sad very beautiful and artistic. So that's one of the things that I really do like about Corpse Bride. And that was my number 6. Number 7, speaking of the sad made beautiful, is Edward Scissorhands. One of my absolute favorite all-time movies. Johnny Depp is absolutely amazing. Winona Ryder is amazing in that movie. The entire cast is just fantastic, and I love how it's super funny. Super weird.
Good, isn't it?
Just out there, and also sad and romantic and beautiful at the same time. So I feel like it's one of those movies that really has something for everybody. Once again, the music is amazing in it. The score for the movie is gorgeous. The attention to detail in the movie is fantastic. There's so many. So this one I had a really hard time. So I have a few, a few for this one because there's just so many good parts in this movie. My absolute number 1 top favorite is when it's just Kim and Edward, and she goes, hold me, and he goes, I can't, and she like puts his arms around her, and they like have this like sweet moment. It's like, like melts your heart. It's so romantic and sweet, and just like you can like really see the love between them, especially because they were actually dating at the time. So I feel like the love that's portrayed in the movie was actually really there at that time. So it's just really sweet to be able to see that carry through on camera. So that's my main favorite part of the movie. There's a couple other funny parts that I wanted to mention just because they're so funny. Is when the neighbor brings him to that salon in the back room, and she's like trying to seduce him or whatever.
Catch those itchy little trims that fall down in your neck.
And he goes running out. That's a hilarious scene. And then when he just tells his family about it at dinner, super nonchalant.
Mrs. Monroe showed me where the salon's going to be, and then she showed me the back room where she took all of her clothes off.
I always find hilarious. And the other part that I find so adorable is when he's cutting the meat with his scissors and he like is serving it on their plates, and he accidentally drops it onto Kim's lap, and he says in the cutest like soft-spoken voice, he's like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's like so cute and so funny. Anyway, I had to add those two just because I love that movie so much, and it's hard not to add other favorite scenes. Anyway, that's my number 7. Number 8, Monster House. I did actually see this one in theaters, and I remember I was pretty young, so I don't remember what year it came out, but I was younger when the movie came out. I was obsessed with Z. She just like was everything I wanted to be when I grew up.
Your call. Elizabeth. And It's Z.
Z?
The makeup, the hair, the style, everything. I thought the movie was just really fun. It told a great story, and it told it in a very fun way. It was exciting, it wasn't slow, the pacing was great. I loved the Nick Cannon cameo in it.
Killed a man.
And a dog.
Doggy down! We've got a situation! Whoa.
And I thought it kind of is a romance story in a way, in a lot of ways, and a story of friendship. And I just think it has a lot of really good messages in the movie. So that's probably why it's one of my favorites, and I still like to watch it every year for Halloween. And I think my favorite scene is when they're staying up all night watching the house through the telescope, and Elizabeth comes in and she's like saying whatever's in the bottles, and I used to say this all the time. It's so funny. She tells them,
whatever disease you guys have, I'm sure it's got letters and that they make pills for it.
Like, what babysitter says that to the kids? Him and Chowder, they're just like, their whole dynamic is super funny. But yeah, probably that whole scene where, and then the other, I cannot remember the girl with the orange hair's name. I can't remember her name at all. But she comes in and goes, "Is this pee? Because if it is, that's really gross." And they try to like blame each other on whose pee it was.
Is this pee? Because if it is, that's really gross. DJ?
It's just super funny. Anyway, I love that movie. There's lots of funny parts in it. And number 9, I was like thinking of movies. I can't believe I couldn't think of this one sooner because it is like the god tier of spooky movies. So this is definitely not my number 9 in the list. That's why I said they kind of just come as I thought of them. This would be way higher up if I was actually numbering them. But Hocus Pocus, of course. If you are a spooky movie fan, if you are a Disney fan, if you are a Halloween fan, you definitely have seen Hocus Pocus. It is an absolutely amazing movie. And I just found this out not too long ago. Did you know the guy that plays Thackeray Binks?
You're going to turn me into one of those fat, useless, contented house cats.
Is actually McGee from NCIS. I was shocked when I found that out.
Me too.
If you didn't know that, there's a little tidbit of trivia knowledge on the movie. Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, and I can't remember the actress who played Mary, but all 3 of them, their dynamic together is great.
Thou comprehend.
Well, you explained it beautifully, Winnie. The way you sort of started out with the adventure part and then you sort of slowly
Explain
went
what?
The singing is great. Just the whole vibe of the movie is just so fun, great storytelling. I just love the whole thing, the costumes, and it just is a very, like I said, all these movies are like my comfort movies, but this one in particular is like a very comforting, fun, spooky movie. And it's really hard to pick a favorite scene because I absolutely love the entire movie. But once again, you can tell I'm really into the Halloween parties in all the Disney movies, but this one in particular goes off. When they come to the party to warn the people that their kids are in danger because the Sanderson sisters are back, and then they get up and sing, and it's just like the most fun. Their voices are incredible. The dancing is fun, all the costumes. It just looks like the most fun Halloween party. And even when she's like putting a spell on them that they have to dance until they die, even that is just like, I'm like, that looks like fun. I would not be mad at that. So that's Hocus Pocus. I can't say enough about it. I'm sure that's like a movie everybody's seen time and time again. And Disney really went off with Hocus Pocus.
Thank you. I found it quite lovely.
They didn't have to give us the Halloween classic that they did, but they really did that. And the last one that I'm going to be talking about, it was so hard to narrow it down to 10. It really was, because there's just so many good spooky movies. But because I didn't want to make the video 5 hours long, I had to pick my top 10. And my 10th one that I want to talk about is Dark Shadows. So I actually did see this one in theaters. I think it was my very first movie that my mom took me to that was a PG-13 movie. So yeah, it was really exciting because I'm like a huge Johnny Depp fan, and I do like the original show Dark Shadows. So it was a TV series, a black and white TV series that they made into a movie with the vampire Barnabas Collins, which is played by Johnny Depp. Helena Bonham Carter is also in the movie. She plays the psychiatrist, and she's super fun and quirky. It's just a great movie with a great cast. The girl that plays the witch, she was also in Miss Peregrine's. She's been in a lot of stuff. She's like a spooky queen, and she's so hot in this movie. Like, I just like live for her. I live and die for her in this movie. So Barnabas Collins has, obviously he's from way back when and gets resurrected in modern times. So a lot of the things that are normal times things don't make sense to him. So in this modern era, Lauren was so nice to point out to me that it was the 70s. He had never seen a lava lamp, which was very popular in that time period, and he calls it a pulsating blood urn.
It's a lamp. It looks like a pulsating blood urn.
Which is like my absolute favorite part of that movie. It's so funny. There's lots of twists and turns. An Alice Cooper cameo. I mean, could you ask for more?
Watch the Cooper woman.
So those are my top 10 favorite spooky movies. Please comment below and tell me what your favorite spooky movies are. If there are any of the ones on this list, where would you have ranked them? And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, ding the bell, share this with a friend, do all the things, and I hope to have you back for my next video. Bye guys!